Dating for men is not a topic that is discussed enough. If you're just like me, you haven't had a proper role model to base yourself on when it comes to dating in life. You were just thrown out in the ocean and expected to just catch some fishies. At least that's how I felt. It's like everybody knew how to do it, yet nobody talked about it. Men are expected to lead, yet nobody taught us how. Is movies and dinners for a first date okay? Do I ask her where she wanna eat? How do I know if she's gonna like where I'm gonna bring her? Can I invite her to the bar? How much do I have to spend? What if I don't have a Ferrari? What if my pet tiger don't like her? Should I split or pay the full bill? Nobody answered those questions. In this video, I'm going to show you how I lead my dates to be successful. I'm going to talk about the expectations women have towards us men, places to go, what to say during the date, and what can be considered as a successful date. What is a successful date? The goal of the date is to drop her anxiety to zero. They're small and vulnerable, so they want to feel secure when they go out on a date, as you most likely are a stranger to her before the date. You drop her anxiety to zero by being a father/big brother to her. I know this sounds weird, but she wants that daddy energy. She wants the big brother that looks over her. She wants the guy that can always make fun of everything, never take anything too seriously, has everything under control, pays and provides and makes sure everything goes well. She wants the guy that never takes anything personally because he is like the father or the big brother. Ain't no big deal for him. He's just taking out his little sister to town, showing her a good time. You gotta ask her about her interests, what she likes to do in life, make fun of her for it. Never take her seriously, always be playful. I know this sounds weird, but it is the truth. Women want to feel like a woman when she's out with you. And you get to do that by being aloof and playful and laid back. You got everything under control and you know where we're going next. You're paying the bill and you don't think twice about it. Now, one thing about the bill. Always foot the bill. Always pay for everything. If you can't afford to take a girl out to the bar or to the restaurant, take her out to ice cream. Bring her to the park. Walk her around the neighborhood. Just drive her around. Do something fun with her. But you gotta pay the bill because you are showing her a good time. There are plenty of men that wanna take her out, but she decided to give her time to you. So you gotta show her a good time because you are the treat. It doesn't matter if the girl earns $100 a month or $1 million a month. When she's going out with you, she wants to feel like a woman to you. She wants you to show her around what you like. You go to the bars, to the pool tables, to the cinema, whatever you like. You hang out at places you go. For a first date, you always want to bring her to some place where you can casually talk. Because the goal of the date is to have some conversation, get to know each other, drop her anxiety to zero. So going to a cafe, to a bar, going on a walk is a very good place to start. Another thing is that you want your first date to be low investment for you. You want to show her that this first date, you want to make sure that you guys have chemistry. You guys get along and have a good conversation. You don't want to go and spend a lot of money for a girl that you won't see a second time. Your worst mistake could be bringing her to the movies or to an expensive restaurant on the first or second date. Those are reserved for the fifth or the sixth date where you guys are more comfortable with more silence and enjoying the time together. When it comes to conversation, there's one thing that you need to focus on. Being fully present with the lady. You don't need to do some fancy things, to know what to say, have jokes. You don't need none of that. All you gotta be is yourself on the date. Put your phone away, make sure you pay her full attention, and if you really need to text someone, make sure you go to the bathroom and make it quick. The mentality you need to have when you go on a date is that men date because it's a need. Women date because it's a treat. Now let me repeat. Men date because if a man doesn't have sex in a whole week, he's gonna go nuts. He's gonna go crazy. I'm talking about a man that doesn't watch any porn. A man needs women or needs a sexual release. But a woman, on the other hand, they could go years and years and years without ever needing to have sex or physical touch from a man. She only truly desires a man's touch if she feels really comfortable and attracted to that man. She only will truly want the physical touch if you get to drop her anxiety to zero and you get to show her a really good time that she doesn't have to think. You do all the thinking. For me, when I go on my first dates, I usually like to opt for going to shisha bar where I can talk and smoke shisha, or go to a regular bar. Sometimes I go to a cafe and then I talk to her maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours sometimes. And if I really feel like this is going somewhere, I'm liking this, then that's where I say, hey, let's get out of here. Let's go to this bar I really like. Where I say, hey, you want to get out of here? I know some place we can be. And usually girls like surprises, so we go to a second location. The more locations you get to go on a date, the more the date feels full. If you get to go to the shisha bar, and then you go to the bar, and then you go to the karaoke by the end of the night, it's almost certain that the girl really likes you, and there are high chances she want to go back home with you. Alright, let's talk about physical contact. Now I could make a whole video just on this subject alone, but I'll go over it quickly. Fortunately or unfortunately, you need to initiate physical contact because the woman expects you to be sexually attracted to her. If you don't initiate and you go on a second date and you go on a third date, fourth date, sometimes the women will just lose all interest and will just not even want or let you have physical contact at all. You are the one that needs to lead the relationship forward. At first, you need to find a way to gradually touch her left and right in subtle ways. One way I like to escalate touching is by opening the door and having my hand behind her back as she walks in. Or if we are walking on the street and I am standing by the side of the cars, I can put my hand slightly on the lower of her back to show her that I'm there and holding her, make her feel safe. When you sit down with her and then you are talking, usually girls like to wear jewelry. So what you can do is, if she's wearing a ring or if she's wearing earrings, you can put your hand on her hand, you say, hey, that's a nice ring. And then you initiate touch like that, and then you can look at her hands, you can touch her hand a little bit, say, hey, you have nice hands. Just find an excuse to touch her. And then if she's wearing nice earrings, of course don't just go and touch her ear, but you can go there and you can slightly put her hair away so you can see what the earring really looks like. You say, hey, that's a nice earring. Same goes for the necklaces. Women say they don't want to be touched by creeps, but if you're doing it right, women loves good touch. They want to feel loved and touched and wanted. At any time during the date, you feel like she's leaning closer and closer, she's feeling very comfortable with you. That is your cue to go in for the kiss. Remember, you are the one to lead the conversation and the relationship forward. Women expect a kiss on the first date if the first date goes really well. As long as you show that you have interest, it doesn't matter if you're successful or not. What matters is that you lead the interaction and you go after what you want. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Just make sure to be confident and decisive, and don't worry too much about being rejected. It's part of the game. If by the end of the night, you guys both had a great time, laughed, talked, and she seems like she wants to spend more time with you, that is where you boldly, unapologetically ask her if she wants to come over to your place. By that time, you both understand what this means, and if she agrees to it, be happy, you won. Alright, hope you have learned a thing or two. As always, stay focused, stay real.